Hello again. So this is an interesting video. It's about sovereign citizens, but more sovereign citizens, but really the Moorish or the normal sovereign citizens. It's all the same. It's people who are under some delusion. Usually these people have some kind of issue with authority. Some of them are misguided, read something. I saw it in a YouTube video, the comments. Some woman who said, yeah, it really works. You just need to read a bit more about it. It doesn't work. It never works. It's like, so these people go to courts and they always lose because they're trying to attack the court system with really, yeah, what should I call them? Infantile arguments. What they're also antisocial, as you can see, for example, in that they do not look at it from the perspective of other people. So, for example, they think, yeah, I don't need a driving license, I don't need insurance. So, what happens if they get into an accident then? What happens to the other people who are hit or whose car is damaged? They will need to pay for you, for the sovereign citizens. So that's antisocial behavior. And all these people have some kind of issue like that. It starts with a lot of them with some issue with authority, and they hear something, read something, and think, wait a minute, I don't really need a license. Why are they? And they think they've found some secret knowledge. And this guy, for example, talks about Black's Law Dictionary, and he says, well, you need edition 4 because that one overrules or overrides all the others, even the later versions. And this guy says, no, the later versions are always the ones. And he says, yeah, the definitions are not in there, or something is not in there in other versions. And there is something to this, but it is in laws, for example, in... so I analyzed, but it's here. It's not the case. But in laws, for example, in the so I analyzed the STVZO laws, and there are the public laws and there are the non-public laws. Non-public laws are the technical requirements. The technical requirements you need to buy, but these are also not complete. You need to understand how it works. So I sent several questions to a researcher, for example, about it, who actually worked on writing those regulations. And I gave some questions. I sent in some corrections, and he said, well, I mentioned it somewhere on my website, that I was the one who analyzed these rules deeper than anyone else. And I found errors in the text, and I had questions about interpretation. So that should have by now gone into the new versions in making them more clear, more readable. But what I missed in these regulations, and I wrote it in my own bicycle lighting standard as an example, is that the explanations of why the rules are a certain way should be included in the rules. And I found that in the e-scooter law, the EKFV for Germany, they did all that, but I don't know if it's always done, but in that case they did it. And I don't know if it's normally included if it's actually included now in the rules that are published. So the law that was as it was designed, there was a preliminary version published, and I analyzed it, and that includes everything. It includes why certain rules are a certain way, why there are riding requirements tests for an e-scooter to make sure it rides well on various surfaces. So they explain everything, also costs, for example, that are involved for the industry, for the people, what the requirements are for the license plates, everything. So why is that not the case for all laws? Well, you need sort of interpretation. That's why also these people who are talking about some law library, dictionary. A dictionary is not enough. You need to understand a certain way how to interpret the texts. I talked, for example, a long time ago about a book called, was it The Secret Doctrine by Blavatsky. And this woman, interesting woman, I met her in Simferopol long ago, and she was curious what I would think about it, and I felt, and it really took me a long time to get to know what is going on. What do they actually mean with all the words? So the words are not used normally. It's a bit like mathematics. In mathematics, words are used in a different manner. You need to know how it is used. A simple dictionary is not going to work. You need to actually work through the matter. But I want to come to a certain, that all applies to these people. They just don't know what the hell they're talking about. But also, as I mentioned, they do not look at the situation from the position of other people. So if they drive on the road and they don't need certain things such as driving license, insurance, why would others need it? If they don't need to pay for the road tax, etc., who is going to maintain the roads? They're conveniently just forgetting all that. But now there comes something interesting which I wanted to show, which is related to political correctness. And I always felt that political correctness was like a mental illness. And the reason for that is, in the way it is implemented, is that they let the people decide themselves what is acceptable and what not. And this gives rise to the problem that people will say, for example, I am this or that, and you will say no, but you can't because they have the final say. But what if these people are lying? What if these people are mentally unstable? This means implicitly in political correctness, you cannot approach the truth. Here this guy says the same, he said, namely about his history.
Listen to yourself. No, listen to yourself. You telling me my history, my story. Don't you know in my family, wait, in my family, wait.
He doesn't want to let him talk. This is a very long video, but 2 hours. I've only watched a few snippets, but so he says, I know what my history is like, of his people or whatever. No, he doesn't. What he knows is only a small snippet of reality. And the problem is, if you let people say, I know because I am this. For example, I made a comment once about a woman who I think was on 90 Day Fiancé, an American program. It's interesting to go through such programs, but only parts of it, because most people I can't stand on those programs. And this woman was a lesbian, or she said, but I think she was just playing to be on TV. A bit like that actress, by the way, who I dated long ago. She was also on a TV dating program, and I asked her, hey, why are you on this program if we are going out? I think it was the second time when I went to meet her, or the second trip on which I met her. And I asked her, and she said, yeah, it means nothing. So she was advertising herself. This woman. I said on a YouTube video comment somewhere, she's not a lesbian. Probably she's advertising for some website like OnlyFans or whatever. I don't know. And she said, some woman commented, she's a lesbian if she says so. No, absolutely not. You don't get to self-decide this, because what if this woman is lying? What if this woman is mentally unstable? You cannot just accept what someone says about himself. There has to be some kind of higher level of consensus to decide things. This is why political correctness is a mental illness. It's like, at least in the version it's implemented, people decide themselves what they think they should be called. Same with these stupid pronouns. No, not going to happen. That's not normal. That is making it impossible to get to the truth. Implicitly impossible. You cannot say then anything is false because they have the final say, which is why political correctness is a mental illness. Right, that's it for now. Bye.